We have about 2 minutes until our Bees teams from Dallas and Tampa take the track. Really quick, I will announce the Dallas B team, the Battalion of Doom. We have Arya Snark wearing number 1, Kate Dudley number 10, Knox 145, Red, White, and Bruise 1776, Destroyevsky 1869, 1980 Shiva Diva, Lay Her Out 2393, Illuminati number 29, Carmen Get Me number 33, Hazard Dits number 333, number 3355 Dirty Mouth Dell, number 401 Ramsey, number 415 Polly Pure Dread, number 420 Rocky Roadhouse, number 47 James Mames, number 5150 Mad Max, number 5501 Scare Bear, number 610 Mad Hatter Moose, number 7 Retro Dolly, and rounding out the roster, number 918 Huckleberry Gin. Your bench coaches for Dallas, Matt Bertelson and Bud Montefelt.
And now your skaters for Tampa's B team, the Tampa Bay Bruise Crew. Number 103, Crush Groove. Number 107, Meat Tornado. Number 17, Milk Fat. Number 18, Slamwich. Number 21, Rehab Reject. Number 305, #Smashtag. Number 327, Anja Patellas. Number 40, Axle Greaser. Number 401, Inducin' Pain. Number 41, Amber Lou. Number 411, Stout. Number 424, Zombie. Number 446, Red Stiletto. Number 50, Rojo Grande. Number 512, Anger. Number 617, Yoma. Number 620, Stella Knockout. Number 8, Iva Grudge. Number 90, Moulin Rude. And number 92, Trip McNeely. On the bench, Despicable D, Break Some Bones, and Lunch Lady.
Our officials for this game are Nacho, Jeremy Jones, Pyro the Dragon, Honey Badger, Harry Pitfall, Flashover, Medicate Her, Flobach, Cat Scratch Beaver, Wreck-It Ray, Cut and Stitches, Slayer Moon, Elder Wood, Sugar and Spikes, Corona Slam Her, Scary Bee Cheeses, and Naya Reyes.
All right, and 7 seconds left to Derby.
And the skaters are taking the track, lining up for our third bout of the day and game 10 out of 13 overall here in Monsoon Madness 2019.
All right. Super excited for this game. We have Dostoyevsky taking on Stella Knockout.
And with that whistle, we are underway. Stella Knockout trying to battle her way to the front of the pack, able to do so, and Stella Knockout is your lead jammer for Tampa.
Stella Knockout, lead jammer for Tampa.
And there's Destroyevsky able to clear the pack for Dallas. Stella Knockout checks around and calls the jam after picking up her points. And our second jam is underway. Your Tampa jammer pushing directly to the front, able to shove right through. That is Stout, number 411. Stout has some information. They are lead jammer. And Stout.
Another 4 points for Tampa. Stout got through with those 4 points.
Excellent footwork, tiptoeing along on toe blocks just along the inside boundary there in the back straightaway to complete the scoring pass.
I believe that's Crush Groove jamming for Tampa. And Red, White, and Bruise also on the Dallas A side, now jamming on the Dallas B side as well. And lead jammer, red, white, and bruise.
She had 20 minutes to, 20 minutes to take a break between bouts,
If that. I mean, 20 minutes sounds pretty generous.
Red, white, and bruise tiptoeing along the inside boundary. Now I'm laughing because I spent the last bout not announcing I was laying in an inflatable beanbag chair, whereas Red, white, and bruise was jamming in roller derby. Red, white, and bruise now approaching the pack with Crush Groove now also barreling in at the end, trying to pick up some points in the back end, and it looks like no points. Looks like Red, white, and bruise got it called off just in time. Crush Groove, no points scored for Tampa, and points up on the board for Red, white, and bruise.
So red, white, and bruise, first lead jam of the game, and also making that tie score in one jam. Lay Her Out, jamming for Dallas. Slam Witch, jamming for Tampa.
Both jammers emerging from the pack in rapid succession. Slam Witch out first and is your lead jammer. Lay Her Out now trying to close in about a third of a track behind. Slam Witch able to angle her way around that back wall of blockers. Kind of ducked in behind number 918 there. The pivot for Dallas spun around the outside and called off the jam. And the ruling is 1 point. So 1 point up on the board for Slam Witch. Breaks the tie. Moves Tampa in front 9-8 here in the very, very early going.
And Dostoyevsky jamming for Dallas. Out to that quick lead jammer status. Anya Patelas jamming for Tampa.
And from her back in the apex of the turn.
Looks like 3 points. 2 points? 2 points for Dallas. Honey Badger holding up the number 2. Thank you, Honey Badger. Appreciate.
So Dallas skips back in front 10-9.
We have Ramsey jamming for Dallas and Stella Knockout for Tampa. Looks like a multiplayer block being called on the Dallas pivot, number 918. That looks like Huckleberry Gin. Dallas losing another blocker to the box. Also lead jammer Tampa for Stella Knockout.
Ramsey able to clear the pack and coming around to force the issue, so Stella Knockout gets by those 2 blockers for Dallas and calls the jam. We're underway here in the next jam.
It looks like Stout jamming for Tampa, lead jammer. Stout looks like they are thrilled to get out of that pack with lead jammer status. Red, white, and bruise with 1 to beat on the straightaway as they escape for Dallas. Looks like Huckleberry Gin headed to the penalty box. Quick 4 points for Tampa.
$17-10 Tampa at the moment. We are underway. We'll get you an update on the Jammers once somebody with better eyesight than me looks at the game.
Tampa lead jammer Crush Groove.
It is indeed Crush Groove, swinging
This
by
is Tampa's
within eye shot range.
This is actually Tampa's third lead jam in a row. They're on a bit of a run. And with a score of 17-10, this is exactly what Tampa wants. They are ranked lower than Dallas, at least for the league on the A side. Quick 3 points for Tampa.
Yeah, and while these are the B squads and, you know, not the A squads, and so these aren't sanctioned bouts, this is a great opportunity for these players to also go along and experience the travel team atmosphere. And as I was just saying, even though we're not playing in a sanctioned bout right now, this isn't a sanctioned bout, but a great opportunity for some of these skaters to get out and, you know, go with the travel team and experience what a tournament like this is like.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, we are so happy to have all of these A sides and B sides here. And honestly, the level of play for both A and B is super strong. On the track, Tampa's lead jammer, Slamwich, with 5 points on the board. Slamwich helping out this fourth in a row lead jammer. Now lay her out, headed to the penalty box as the jammer
So we have we have the Dallas jammer and pivot in the penalty box at the moment. We have 3 blockers out there for Dallas now, as Dallas gains a blocker from the penalty box while their pivot was heading around the corner to the penalty box.
Ooh.
Slamwich, meanwhile, a little bit of nifty footwork, finishes off a scoring pass and calls off the rest of the jam.
This is definitely giving Tampa the opportunity to run away with the score. Huge 13-point jam. Lay her out standing in the penalty box, which means she has 10 seconds or fewer left to serve.
An excellent strategy there as well. They're going to start with a power start for probably about 5 or 6 seconds, I would say, and then they also get 20-plus seconds without another blocker out there as well.
All right. Anya Patelis, solo jammer on the track from Tampa, is your lead jammer.
Anya Patelis finishes off a scoring pass, and with the Dallas jammer out and coming around the circle, Anya Patelis calls it off.
Quick 4 points for Tampa, increasing that lead. It's now a 27-point game. We have about 19 and a half minutes left in this first half. And for some perspective, this is the first half of our third game today. We're going to have 3 more after this, including 2 more sanctioned games. After this, we're welcoming Arizona's A-side and Tampa's A-side. We've got Ramsey on the line for Dallas and Stella Knockout for Tampa.
And barreling down to the end of the straightaway, Ramsey is waved on through. There was a moment of confusion there where Ramsey wasn't sure who the penalty was on, but the penalty was on the blocker for Tampa. So Ramsey, your lead jammer for Dallas.
Yeah, it looked like that was a forearm call on that last line of defense blocker from Tampa. Ramsey, it took about a 40-second turn to get that lead jammer status for Dallas. Tampa now with a pivot turned jammer, number 446, Red Stiletto.
Maybe a moment here before the next jam begins. Looks like we have now an official timeout. We did have a referee running over and checking with the scorer's table. And now we're ready to get underway. So we've got Stout jamming for Tampa. And Red, White, and Bruise jamming for Dallas. Red, White, and Bruise mid-pack trying to find her way through. Stout just barreling to the front of the pack. Dispenses with the blocker, but in the meantime, Red, White, and Bruise able to find her way right to the front of the pack. So both jammers out. Red, White, and Bruise with Stout in pursuit.
Red, White, and Bruise checking the Dallas bench for some direction. We've got the pack really pouring on the steam there to see if Dallas can get any points before we'll see if Bruce can get any points before Stout hits the pack.
And you can see the strategy. The Tampa skaters had united in front and made it to where before they would be able to be caught by Red, White, and Bruise, you would see Stout catching. I like watching blocking and I like watching schemes. It's fun. I like roller derby. What can I say?
Roller derby's pretty great. I don't think we'd be here if we didn't think roller derby was pretty great.
Pardon me for incoherently geeking out about roller derby for about 30 seconds there and forgetting what words were.
So we've got Dostoyevsky jamming for Dallas and Crush Groove jamming for Tampa. One to beat, and Crush Groove is your lead jammer for the Tampa Bay Bruise crew. The helmet cover has come off of the Dallas jammer. Now pivot turn jammer Retro Dolly with the star for Dallas.
Crush Groove finishes off a scoring pass and calls off the jam with Retro Dolly sprung free.
Yeah, quick 4 points for Tampa. It's playing it a little close to the vest. And if you are a little thirsty this afternoon, it is already 2 o'clock, definitely head over to our one of our sponsors. You can get a free drink from Rain Total Body Fuel or grab a beer from the upper concourse. We've got Lay Her Out on the line for Dallas, Slam Witch on the line for Tampa. Slam Witch, your lead jammer for Tampa. Slam Witch, very effective jammer. She has gotten lead every time that Tampa has put her out so far in this half. And we are on jam 14, so not insignificant.
A great individual effort there by Slam, which really did battle with the entire defensive wall of Dallas and kind of picked them off one by one. Able to make a nice pirouette right in front of us here. The Canadian judge rated that an 8.6.
I believe Shiva Diva now is the jammer of record for Dallas after taking the star from Lay Her Out. And a power jam now in favor of Dallas. Last 45 seconds of the jam here. Shiva Diva unopposed on the track.
So Shiva Diva now up to the front of the pack.
Dallas doing a great job of trying to control the pack, bringing back one of the Tampa blockers all the way to turn 3 and 4. That was a great penalty kill by Tampa. The Tampa jammer is standing in the penalty box.
And now the Tampa jammer up and out of the penalty box. Slam Witch right through the pack.
Slam Witch, even though she did go to the penalty box, she still scored 12 points in that jam to Dallas's 6.
So our score right now is going to be Tampa 53, Dallas 20.
Anya Patelis jamming for Tampa. Ramsey jamming for Dallas. And Dallas out to Dallas is your lead jammer. Ramsey with Anya Patelis hot on her heels. We'll see what the pack does with this. The Dallas bench looks like doing some advice there for her to call it. Looks like she's going to hit it and quit it.
And Anya Patel is able to pick up some points there on the back end. Gets a little hoot and holler from her bench coming in as she was able to get into the back end of the pack there before the jam was called and picked up some points for Tampa, as well as Dallas putting a couple points on the board.
All right, and we have a couple of double scores here, 22 for Dallas, 55 for Tampa. Red, White, and Bruise, lead jammer over Stella Knockout for Tampa.
And Stella Knockout able to clear the pack as well.
Red, White, and Bruise tipping through the inside, calling it off from the floor. Looks like 4 points for Dallas.
Five-second call goes up. Looks like we've got Stout jamming for Tampa, and jamming for Dallas is going to be Destroyevsky. Stout blasting to the front, racing through the corner, but Stout is not lead jammer.
Nice.
Destroyevsky is lead jammer, and Destroyevsky says, not so fast, and calls off the jam.
Great strategy there. If you are not in front, get as far in front as you can. Lay Her Out jamming for Dallas, and Crush Groove jamming for Tampa. Dallas at the front of the pack. Nope, just kidding. Both jammers actually getting hit to the inside and outside. Crush Groove able to shake off that inside hit and is your lead jammer for Tampa. A cut track being assessed to Lay Her Out. This is going to give Crush Groove 30 seconds unopposed. Crush Groove able to sneak around on the outside. Oh, getting a 1-2-3 hit from the Dallas blockers on the track.
And Crush Groove able to eventually complete the scoring pass, twirling past that last defender there in the front straightaway. Now her blockers try to let her go around the outside. Runs into a blocker there.
Crush Groove getting a little bit of offense there from number 41. Looks like that is Amber Liu.
And now emerging from a scrum there, coming through the turn, is Crush Groove, and Crush Groove calls off the jam. Emerging out the front of the pack was number 415 for Dallas.
That was the pivot Polly Pure Dread receiving that star and forcing that call off. Great strategy there. 8 points for Tampa, 0 for Dallas. And if you are in the venue right now, make sure you head out to our food trucks. We're going to have a timeout really quick. We're going to head out to our food trucks. We've got the Satay Hut. They are serving, bringing satay, one of the original forms of street food, to the streets of Phoenix. They specialize in authentic Dutch Indonesian style cuisine using fresh meats that are hand-cut, marinated, hand-skewered, and flame-grilled on the truck. And fun fact, all of our food trucks should also have a vegan option if there isn't one listed on the menu. We specifically requested each of our food trucks to have a vegan menu option, so if you don't see it advertised, go ahead and ask. Additionally, if you are enjoying all the Derby you're seeing here today, check out our rotating team merch table down on Vendor Row. Teams on the track have an opportunity to sell their merch throughout the weekend. All right, that timeout has expired, and we've got Tampa fielding Slamwich as their jammer, Ramsey jamming for Dallas. And Slamwich out to lead jammer status. Almost a hit out to the inside. Slamwich able to stay in bounds on her skates. Ramsey passing that helmet cover to number 7, Retro Dolly.
Slamwich finishing off a scoring pass and calls it off with Retro Dolly sprung loose again with the star cover, triggering the call off.
I believe that is our second star pass in as many jams by Dallas. Slamwich has scored approximately half of the points on the board for Tampa just in this first half. About 7.5 minutes left on the clock. Red, White, and Bruce jamming for Dallas, lead jammer for Dallas. Anya Patelis, a jammer for Tampa. Anya Patelis able to shake off that hit on the outside. Red, White, and Bruce just skated in the A side game, now also jamming on the B side.
And our next jam underway. It looks like we've got Destroyevsky making her way around the outside, able to stay in bounds, and takes lead jammer status for Dallas. Stella Knockout trying to get clear for Tampa, still negotiating with that last blocker and now able to get through the pack. So Destroyevsky now finishes off a scoring pass and calls off the jam.
And just a quick note for our friends in the venue, if you are staying at a Hampton Inn and you seem to have misplaced your room keys, we did find some room keys on the floor by the Plagued Fitness table. So if you are staying at a Hampton Inn, please grab the announcers up at the announcer table. Tell us what room you're in. We will give you your key back. And one of our Argentinian skaters has lost a purple necklace with a purple mineral on it. So if you find that, please return that back to the Argentine locker room. And just as I'm saying all of that stuff, Stout is out to a quick lead jammer status for Tampa. Hot in pursuit is Lay Her Out for Dallas.
Stout gliding out of turn number 2 and up the front straightaway.
So smooth. Lead jammer call off there by Stout. Still a little hip flick to the outside and calling it off. Ramsey jamming for Dallas and Crush Groove for Tampa. Crush Groove pushing out those Dallas blockers, almost out of play, and she is your lead jammer for Tampa. Ramsey getting recycled back to that pivot line. Both jammers just trying to lay into an inverted triangle in front of them. Crush Groove pushing, Dallas having to peel off a blocker or two to stay in play. Ramsey holding on to that helmet cover. Dallas's pivot sort of at the front of that backpack there. Not sure if we're gonna do anything here or. So the jammer of note now for Dallas is Polly Purebred, pivot turn jammer. Meanwhile, Crush Groove skating around the track, raking in points. She's got 8 on the board right now. Polly Purebred trying to take a piece out of Crush Groove. And I heard a whistle. We have a ref looking at Polly Purebred. Pure Dread, excuse me. She is headed to the penalty box. Nope, take it back. She is recycling back to the straightaway as we get to the end of that jam. Huge jam for Tampa. Crush Groove scoring 16 points. That is actually the highest scoring jam of the half. About 2.5 minutes left, probably 2 jams that we have to field for this first half of this game.
This jam begins with one Tampa blocker in the penalty box.
Red, white, and bruise out to that quickly jammer status. Slamwich kind of stuck in the pack right now.
And Red, White, and Bruise able to spring free of a block there. And along the inside of the track is your lead jammer for Dallas. Slamwich now out of the pack as well. Red, White, and Bruise. Here's the call from the bench to call the jam, and is able to do so.
Quick 6 points there for Dallas, bringing them up to 39. Tampa at 91, and about 1:15 left in the half. All right, Tampa getting their pack aligned on the track. The penalty box is empty. We are at 4 versus 4 for our blockers. Dostoyevsky going up against Anya Patelas. And Anya Patelas is lead jammer for Tampa. This is her first lead jam of the half. Take that back. She may have gotten lead one other time. It had just been a while, and I have announcer amnesia sometimes. Quick 4 points, though, for Anya Patelas, bringing Tampa up to 95.
Dallas able to pick up 1 point on the back end of the pack there. They didn't? Interesting. Maybe that's the subject of the discussion.
Could be.
We have entered into an official review. There we are. Okay.
Looks like we'll end this half with our official review. We have our coaches in the center talking to Nacho. Nacho is our head ref for this bout. Again, much love to all of our refs and NSOs, keeping us honest, tallying our points and penalties, making sure that this derby is happening in the best way it can. If you are in the venue, make sure you thank a ref, thank an NSO. All right, thank you, head ref Nacho. We appreciate you. The no call will stand. We have time for one more jam in this half. Two very tall jammers at the back of the pack there. Looks like Lay Her Out going up against Stella Knockout. Lots of outs in our names on the jam line today.
Lay Her Out battling to the inside, but meanwhile, racing by on the outside, out of view of us over here, is Stella Knockout, your lead jammer for Tampa. And the period clock reaches 0, so confirmed we will go to the half at the conclusion of this jam. Stella Knockout says, I'm not done yet, and finishes off a scoring pass. Meanwhile, the star has been passed over to number 918, Huckleberry Gin. Huckleberry Gin takes over as jammer for Dallas. Stella Knockout mid-pack, getting by as many skaters as possible. And it looks like Huckleberry Gin was whistled for a penalty. So Huckleberry Gin now proceeds around the track, and it's going to be a power jam for Tampa to close out. Well, not close out, excuse me. There's more than enough time left for there to be more action after the power jam.
Yeah, having that power jam plus 2 additional blockers in the box means Stella Knockout is really easily raking up these points.
Now Dallas gains 1. Lay Her Out now is the jammer, now is back on the track. So apparently we had the star pass back from Huckleberry Gin back to Lay Her Out. Okay.
Make sure we get every point on the board before we call this intermission. This is a quick 10-minute intermission. Score as it stands currently, Tampa over 100 points, 107. Dallas with 40. So we will see you back here in 9 minutes or so. Please make sure you grab some merch over at the merch table, whether it's ours or one of our visitors, and then vote for your MVPs. They have these amazing lit up trophies in the shape of a lightning bolt. You can vote for your favorite jammer on both the A side and the B side. Best blocker, A side and B side. Best overall, best referee, and best NSO. Again, that's over at the merch table. Head on over there and then grab some grub at our food trucks, and we will see you here in just a minute. All right, we are just about ready to start this second half of our game here. Again, this is game 3 of day 2 of Monsoon Madness 2. Immediately following this, sometime hopefully close to 3 o'clock, we're going to have our Arizona A squad versus the Tampa A squad, followed then by Dallas A and Dos por Cuatro A, and then rounding out the evening, the Arizona B squad and the Dos por Cuatro B squad. Really great derby all day today. If you are in the venue and you are missing your Hampton Inn room key, please come up to the announcer table. Also, if you find a purple crystal or a purple pendant crystal, please return it to the Dos por Cuatro area. All right, we have Dostoyevsky going up against Stella Knockout in this first jam of the second half. And Stella Knockout, your lead jammer for Tampa.
Dostoyevsky quickly to the front of the pack. Correction. We've got a star pass. That is Huckleberry Gin taking over as jammer for Dallas.
Huckleberry Gin about to put that star on. Dallas holding Tampa to only 4 points using that strategy there.
Five-second call goes up. We are underway here in this jam.
I believe that is Stout up at the front of the pack, jamming for Tampa. Ramsey jamming for Dallas. Ramsey taking off the helmet cover to get through on that initial pass. Ramsey jamming for Dallas and Crush Groove jamming for Tampa. Oh, I believe we might be slightly bit mistaken. I see a Red, Bright, and Bruise jamming for Dallas. That is our jammer of record there. Nobody is lead jammer yet, though. Crush Groove fighting her way through the inside, and she is lead jammer for Tampa. Red, White, and Bruise getting hit back to the inside of turn 2. Crush Groove able to shake off a big hit there by number 1980. That is Shiva Diva from Dallas.
Now Crush Groove closing in on the back of the pack, trying to get some offensive help there from one of her blockers and find her way through on the scoring pass. Taking over as jammer for Dallas is going to be Huckleberry Gin, number 918, but the jam comes to a close.
That is the second time that Huckleberry Gin has gotten a panty pass in this game. Oh, in this half, excuse me, we were only on the third jam. Huckleberry Gin, strong pivot, taking that jammer star. Lay her out, jamming for Dallas, going up against Zombie. Zombie, your lead jammer for Tampa. I believe this might be Zombie's first jam of this game. So good on her for getting that lead jammer status. Sneaking through the outside. Dallas does have 2 blockers in the box. They are at a pack disadvantage. Zombie gets hit to the inside. Big hit by number 333 for Dallas. That is Hazarditz. Zombie able to make it around that outside for 4 more points.
Coming on around now with still plenty of time left on the jam clock here in this jam. Just halfway through the jam clock now, and Zombie looking for another scoring pass. Dallas still has not gotten a jammer free until now. Star has been passed forward, and that's going to be Hazardits.
Great strategy there by Dallas, passing that helmet cover to Hazardits, the pivot. Not before Tampa could score those 12 points, though. We are up to almost a 100-point lead for Tampa with a score of 138 to Dallas 40. Dallas has been using that strategy a lot the last 4 jams. They have passed that star cover just to get it out and force that call off. Sorry, last 3 jams. We have Dostoyevsky on the line for Dallas and Anya Patelis for Tampa.
Dostoyevsky now catching up to the pack as the pack is entering the first turn. Trying to battle right through the middle of the pack. Dostoyevsky barrels over a blocker, manages to stay in bounds, and completes the scoring pass.
This is Dostoyevsky's lead jammer here, and also first lead jam of Dallas in this half. I believe they also have jammed on the A side, so we might be seeing a little bit more of them in the next game as well. Inducing Payne now the jammer of note for Tampa. Again, forcing that call up. Those those helmet cover passes really do work. All right, I see Ramsey's on the line, but your lead jammer is Stella Knockout for Tampa. Looks like a counter block being assessed to Dallas blocker 6'10". That is Matt Hatter Moose headed to the penalty box. Joining another Dallas blocker, actually just leaving the penalty box now. Stella Knockout able to make it around the track fairly easily for 4 more points, and she calls it off. Total of 8 points in that jam for Tampa. All right, I believe that is Stout jamming and getting lead jammer for Tampa Bay. Red, White, and Bruise jamming for Dallas. 2 very strong, very capable jammers. Stout, though, just skating laps around the rest of the pack.
We've seen both of these jammers get out often with lead jam, respectively. Stout finishing off a scoring pass and calling off the jam there in the front straightaway with Red, White, and Bruise right out behind.
Yep. They looked around and were like, nope, we're good. 4 points is enough. Calling it off.
Stepping up to the jammer line for Dallas is going to be Leia Heraut.
Crush Groove jamming for Tampa. Lay Her Out jamming for Dallas. Oh, and an immediate penalty for Lay Her Out. Lay Her Out joining one other blocker in the pack. So Crush Groove has 30 seconds unopposed, getting the business end from Hazard Ditz on the outside line. Does not delay her for too long as she is on a point scoring pass now. Crush Groove in that point scoring position, lay her out with the apex jump to get through on her initial pass. Crush Groove looking at where everybody is on the track and calling it off. Quick 2 points there for Tampa Bay, bringing them to 152. Dallas at 47. The time is about 19 minutes, 40 seconds on the clock. We have Destroyevsky going up against Salamwich. We have some bodies hitting the floor there on the straightaway, but your lead jammer is Salamwich.
Salamwich exiting the pack. Again, another jammer that we've seen be very successful here.
Destroyevsky getting recycled back to that straightaway.
Now Destroyevsky hands the star forward and taking over is Huckleberry Gin for Dallas.
And a cut track being assessed to Huckleberry Gin as the jammer. So we'll have a 30-second power jam. Salamwich calling it off, giving that privilege of the power jam to the next jammer. It looks like Anya Patelis with a star on her helmet approaching the track. That is Jin's third star pass that she has received in this half. Very popular pivot to have on the track if you are in Dallas. Anya Patelis with 3 to beat at the front of the pack. Huckleberry Gin and a blocker in the pack in the penalty box together. Anya Patelis now your lead jammer after about 25 seconds. Great penalty kill by Dallas. That apex jump, though, to get that initial out. Couple of whistles. It looks like
Huckleberry Gin being sent right back to the penalty box.
Tampa blocker 41, Amber Lou, getting a penalty for blocking. Huckleberry Gin back in the box as well.
So much action. I'm trying to find out what's going on as well. There is a lot of action going on in multiple distinct parts of the track at the moment. Anya Patel is out the front of the pack to complete a scoring pass.
Super successful jam there by Anya Patelis, 8 points, and setting her team up for a power start as Huckleberry Gin is standing in the penalty box currently.
We're going to have a team timeout before we move forward. Team timeout called by Dallas.
Again, if you have lost your hotel room key and you are staying in a Hampton Inn, please visit the announcer table. And then also we have a skater from Dos por Cuatro who has lost a purple stone pendant. Please find our Argentinian friends and return that to them if you happen to find it. I know we have a lot going on in the penalty box right now. Tampa has had no jammer penalties in this half. So good job Tampa Jammers. And if you are interested in watching or playing some more derby, you should definitely check out azrollerderby.com for our next new member orientation. That's Friday, June 7th, or our next home game, Saturday, June 15th. Our games are here at Ability 360. Our new member orientation is at our AZRD warehouse at 32nd Street and Broadway. All right, we have our jammer lined up. Stella Knockout at the back of the pack, and is your lead jammer for Tampa. Tampa blockers trying to force the issue of the pack being called to get Stella out as quickly as possible. Ramsey now pivot turn jammer for Dallas. Takes that helmet cover immediately from Huckleberry Gin and forces the call off after just a quick 4 points in favor of Tampa. All right, we have Red, White, and Bruise jamming for Dallas and Stout for Tampa. I feel like this is a frequent jammer matchup. We've seen both of these skaters. Red, White, and Bruise, I did not see the call, but headed to the penalty box. So Stout, the only jammer on the track and your lead jammer.
Just going to say the same thing, that power jam opportunity here for Tampa. Stout making their way down through turn number 2. Not quite able to hang on to the inside boundary there, bumped out by the pivot for Dallas. Now trying the outside, and Stout with their hands up in mock fury because they stumbled out of the outer boundary that time and decided to go ahead and just call the jam at that point. So I believe they conserved a few minutes of a power start for the next jam. Seconds, not minutes, I'm sorry. And the 5-second call goes up. Tampa starting as the only jammer. And then the Dallas jammer in from the bench as well. Red, White, and Bruise is back from the penalty box for Dallas.
Crush Groove doing a great job of pushing forward those Dallas blockers. And Red, White, and Bruise able to sneak ahead and get that lead jammer status for Dallas. She looks behind her, realizes Crush Groove is not too far away, pours on the speed. And Derby fans, we now have a race heading on here. Dallas in the back of the pack. Crush Groove in a position to score. We're doing some shirt whips, getting those points. Crush Groove taking that inside line. Let's see what the points end up being. Oh, Crush Groove with 4 points.
I have a statistic. You have a statistic.
You've been getting all of the stats. I am greedy and love them.
Well, I was just going to say, Red, White, and Bruise just spent the last 3 jams as the jammer of record for Dallas.
Oh, wow.
Because she went into the penalty box, then spent 27 seconds of a jam in the penalty box, and then started the next jam. Came out of the penalty box. 3 straight jams as the jammer of record.
That's
for
a
Dallas.
lot of jamming for not a lot of jamming.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
All right, we have Lay Her Out jamming for Dallas and Zombie jamming for Tampa. Zombie lead jammer for Tampa. Hot on her heels is Lay Her Out.
So Zombie now coming through the turn, catching up to a blocker of Dallas that just rejoined from the penalty box. And Leia Her Out bumped out of bounds, but penalty called. There we are. Penalty has been assessed to the Tampa Jammers. So now we enter into a power jam for Dallas. Leia Her Out trying to get through the pack. And Leia Her Out handing the star cover forward to Huckleberry Gin, trying to fight her way along the inside, but just barely bumped out. So putting the star cover on now, making it all official for all intents and purposes.
Big hits there being shaken off by Huckleberry Gin. the pivot turn jammer for Dallas. Great penalty kill by Tampa. Zombie has left the penalty box and is hitting the pack. That is a quick 4 points for Tampa. Right now our score is 4-4 after that penalty there that we started with the jam with. Oh,
Zombie
blink and
completing.
you miss. Zombie going from the inside to the outside, emerging almost untouched. Tampa with one blocker in the box, so slight disadvantage, or I'm sorry, Dallas with one blocker in the box, slight disadvantage for Dallas.
Huckleberry Gin just trying to drive through that defense along the inside, but that's going to do it for the clock.
That was a full 2-minute jam for a point differential of 2 in favor of Tampa, 8 and Dallas 6. Anya Patelis jamming for Tampa, going up against Dostoyevsky for Dallas. Anya Patelis with 2 to beat at the front of the pack, does manage to clip that tape with her wheels, comes back in behind those same 2 blockers, and she is your lead jammer. Great blocking work, though, by number 51, 50, and 29 on Dallas.
So Anya Patel is now making her way down through the corner. Taking the jammer star is going to be Retro Dolly. Retro Dolly is your new jammer for Dallas. Anya Patelis finishes off a scoring pass and calls off the jam with Retro Dolly clear on the back end of the pack.
We have about 9.5 minutes left in this game. Score is 188 for Tampa Bay, 53 for Dallas. We have Ramsey jamming for Dallas and still a knockout for Tampa. Still a knockout out to a quickly jammer status right at the pivot line. Ramsey with the full force of the Tampa squad in front of her. Looking for a little bit of offense there from number 415, Polly Purebred. Both jammers really just struggling behind a tripod in front of them of the opposite color. You know, you've got to hand it to these teams. This is not even the first game of the day, and some really bruising games yesterday. And everybody is still fighting for every single point. We have the pivot turn jammer, number 415, Polly Purebred, forcing that call off. Looks like that was a 4-0 jam in favor of Tampa.
Setting up on the jammer line now for Tampa is going to be Stout. And the jammer for Dallas is Red, White, and Bruise. Was mired in the pack there for a moment, but pops out where I can see the number. Stout balancing act coming through the corner, but remains upright on wheels and heading for the back of the pack. Cut track penalty was called on Red, White, and Bruise, so this is going to be a power jam for Stout and Tampa.
Stout really just muscling through those 3 blockers to get those 4 points. Calling it off to give their team the advantage of a power start for Tampa as Red, White, and Bruise cooling her heels in the penalty box. Oh, and to stretch that pack out as far as possible, the Tampa Bay blockers rushing back to the back of the pack to help force Rojo Grande out of the front of the pack and get lead jammer status. This is Rojo Grande's first jam of the game. I believe they may have pivoted in previous jams and previous games.
Red, White, and Bruise now out of the penalty box and quickly out the back of the pack, racing to the front of the pack. Rojo Grande still lead jammer and calls it off. Red, White, and Bruise quickly emerged out of the pack, forcing that call off.
Those 4 points for Rojo Grande bring Tampa up to 200. And deep in the heart of Texas, the score is 53. All right, we have Dostoyevsky on the line for Dallas, but your Tampa lead jammer is Slamwich. Dostoyevsky with 2 to beat. I'm sorry, Slamwich with 2 to beat at the front of the pack. Dostoyevsky with 2 to beat at the back of the pack.
And now the star being passed forward by Dallas. Taking over is going to be Retro Dolly.
Slamwich with a little pirouette and some backward skating. Calls it off. We are under 5 minutes in this game. Tampa Bay at 206. Dallas at 53.
Jamming for Tampa is going to be Anya Patelas, and jamming for Dallas is Leia Heraut. And Anya Patelas quickly around the outside of the pack and takes lead jammer for Tampa. And Leia Heraut emerging from the pack whistled for a penalty, so Leia Heraut being sent over to the penalty box. So the power jam for Tampa starts now. 30 seconds worth of a power jam. And now the pivot for Tampa also joining their jammer over there. Excuse me, pivot for Dallas joining their jammer over there in the penalty box. So Anya Patelas fighting through 2 blockers at the front of the pack now. And after being recycled back down the front, being recycled on the back straightaway, Anya Patelas calls off the rest of the jam. So Tampa starts with a 2-skater advantage and a power start.
We may have had a Dallas skater foul out. I believe Leia Heraut is invited to take off her gear on the track. Stella Knockout, the jammer of record for Tampa Bay. And now jamming in Leia Heraut's place, I believe that is Ramsey, number 401 for Dallas.
And Ramsey able to emerge from the pack and is your non-lead jammer. Couldn't really think of a term for that in the moment. Sorry about that. Stella Knockout bumped off onto the infield, gets back up, reestablishes on the track, trying to finish off the scoring pass. Ramsey trying to push through on the back end of the pack.
Stella Knockout able to sneak through that inside line with some fancy footwork there to get those additional 4 points. All told, that is an 18-4 jam in favor of Tampa. 2 minutes left, so our last couple of jams here. I see red, white, and bruise. Fun fact, she's been skating 4 years, and this is her first tournament with the Dallas League. She is killing it at this tournament, can I just say. Maybe even eligible for one of these Best Jammer awards that we're giving out with MVP voting at the merch table. Stout jamming for Tampa at the back of the pack. And sneaking through the inside, they are your lead jammer for Tampa.
Red, white, and bruise quickly out of the pack as well for Dallas, about a quarter track behind Stout. Stout calling out some blocking instructions to one of her teammates before dipping around the outside, and they call off the jam.
One quick point there for Tampa. 1 minute left on the clock. All right, looks like we might be adjusting something. We have an official timeout really quick. Making sure our scoreboard is accurate. All right, rolling whistle means it is time to play Derby. 46 seconds on the clock. Tampa on the scoreboard with 2:27. Dallas with 57. Dostoyevsky, your Dallas jammer. Zombie, your Tampa jammer. And Zombie lead for Tampa.
Dostoyevsky battling through the pack and able to evade the last couple of Tampa blockers to get out of the pack as well.
You know, for these two leagues to have a disparity in score of this magnitude, Tampa is ranked 42. Now, granted, that is the entire league, not specifically the B team. Dallas is ranked 36. So for Dallas to have a score differential of this low bit here is pretty surprising. But again, those A teams are kind of where it matters. All right, those 4 whistles mean the end of that jam and the end of this half, the end of this game. We're gonna make sure all of our scores are tallied, but definitely in the venue, come on up, give a high five, then head over to the merch table and vote for tournament MVP voting. Best jammer, A and B, best blocker, A and B, best overall, best referee, and best NSO. Just a couple of stats. Zombie jammed the 3 times in that second half and managed to rake up 34 of those points. Yeah, Dallas was trying to keep the score as low as possible. A significant number of panty passes on the Dallas side. And Huckleberry Gin ended up passing 4 times, or receiving the helmet cover 4 times while she was out there, and did get points consistently as well.